our own capacity, right? We cannot wait to say we need someone to come, you know,
It's true.
a scientist from the moon to come down and solve the issues. No, we are
No,
here. Let's do it. Let's try to move out of the comfort zone and see what we can do within our capacity. It is working. If you
no,
know anyone who is, you know, within my circle, I would make you know something about Africa. My Even my WeChat moments, what I always post, it's either it's about Africa, it's either it's about my experiences here, the Chinese side,
hmm
it's either it's about China, Africa. So that's what I usually share personally. So it's either I'm just also telling you that, I am in the process of learning your country, your
exactly.
culture, the society and
You
everything.
too should also.
You too should also what? You should also learn because it is mutual learning. It is not
Yes,
one-sided,
yes,
right?
yes, it's
It is
true.
not
It's true.
one-sided. So one thing that I also managed to realize is that for you to understand their culture well, at least try by all means to learn the language.
The
So that's why
language. Mm.
I thought learning the language was one of the wisest options that I made. I'm still in the process of learning because
Mm.
Chinese is very complex.
It's
The more
very
you learn it,
difficult, I'm telling you.
the more you learn Chinese, the more you understand their culture. Because
Oh,
what we read in English, whatever, it's not enough to
it's
tell
not
you
enough,
what
exactly.
the Chinese culture is. So because language itself, that's actually the storage of
It's
civilization.
true, it's true, it's true. Now, I wanted
So
also, okay, sorry. Okay, you wanted
yeah,
to say?
so I was saying that that's the process. If you see even some of the volunteer activities that we do, sometimes we just go there. I remember last year, the one that I remember last year when it was during the Labor Festival. Unfortunately, this time we didn't have anything because the new Omicron
Yeah,
variant.
yeah.
Last year during the Labor Festival, the police in Hangzhou, in a particular district, they wanted to do an a tele-fraud campaign, right?
Mm.
We have the issues of
I
cybersecurity,
know, yes,
nowadays,
yes.
because technology is moving and you end up receiving wild calls and all those kind of things, tele-fraud. So it was a tele-fraud, anti-tele-fraud campaign. And then what happened was they asked, Eric, what do you think is the best way that we can do this? Because
Yeah,
we usually cooperate with the police here in our volunteer activities. Why do
yes,
we do that? We also want to understand policies and all that. So this is the best way to do it. So we made a proposal, bring the African drum, bring, let's create that kind of a very lively
yes,
atmosphere. People can come and we are going to share the what? The anti-telefraud pamphlets with them.
yeah.
It was a success. We did that. We were just near to West Lake, which is a very famous tourist attraction in Hangzhou. A lot of
Wow,
visitors, they came, and we started there distributing the flyers to them, about
wow.
anti-tele, raising this awareness. So this is a combination of this volunteering and cultural exchanges.
Internal
They
exchanges.
came, they had once someone had the African drum was beating somewhere, and we were
They'll be like,
enjoying,
what?
kind of like what's going on? Everyone is taking out their phones. Then next time you realize we're already distributing the anti-telefraud
Exactly, exactly.
pamphlets.
Wow.
So
But
that's the process.
then-
So whilst we are participating in local community activities, it's also a platform to
wow.
market the African culture, to also let them know about our
Now,
culture.
also out there, when it comes to the issue of China-Africa relationship, there's a lot
Mhm.
of bad that has been spoken about that kind of relationship. But yourself, since you have participated in several activities, designed to promote a positive, image of Africa and of Zimbabwe, all right? I mean, what was the driving force for you to be part of that thing, okay? To say, I'm going to join these activities, I want people to understand how China-Africa relationship is. Now, briefly, to someone who is thinking like, they're just coming to steal our resources, they just steal our resources. You, as someone who has now been into China, have been involved in a lot of government activities, not only local and government, at government level. You have seen everything that is happening. What can you say about the China-Africa relationship? Because it's very,
Mhm.
very sensitive out there to a lot of people, even those who are
Yes,
back home.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. That's very true. China-Africa relations, I think these are one of the most complex, multilateral relations ever.
True.
Why? Because when we say China-Africa, you're talking about China and African continent, which has 55 countries if we are using the AU, standard.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's an interaction of several civilizations, right? Several
True.
cultures. And with that, you would actually just think that it has to be complex.
It's
No two
true.
ways about it. It has to be complex because it's already complex from the word go. Have a lot of countries which are
Mm.
into these China-Africa relations. So the way everyone is going to understand those real relations differs with your own personal experiences, with
Yes.
what you are seeing, and with what the media is telling you as well. So for a lot of people, the China-Africa relations that they tell is not what they saw. It's not what they experienced. It's
Mm.
what they read
They've
in the
read, yes.
news, they read on Facebook, they read on Instagram, right? It's not everything that is shared there that is wrong,
True.
but sometimes we should do our homework well.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've always been interacting with a couple of Chinese, especially the youths, because that's where I think we can understand ourselves better.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
what I read from them is that for those youths who are keen to go to Africa, they really are trying the best to understand what
To
Africa is.
understand.
They
Mm.
really want to understand what Africa is from the culture, the people, the status quo of Africa. They want to understand everything. Right now in Africa, we have, I think, more than 2 million Chinese in the African continent, right? The number is on the rise. Why are they
Yeah,
going to,
yeah.
right? There are several interesting things. Some,
Mm.
they leave China without anything. They go there, they get themselves fully established because African continent is actually full of opportunities,
Yes,
right?
it's true. It's true.
Full of opportunities that can be seized. So there are a lot of positives about China-Africa relations, but
Mm.
we are facing challenges from a people-to-people perspective because we don't understand each other. We
Wow.
don't really understand each other at all. There are some small businesses, yes, back home that haven't been performing well. For instance, you have some Chinese who might have, went into the mining industries and
Yes, yes, yes.
exploitation of resources. That's just a small percentage. You also have some Chinese who might, after you watch it on news, maybe there's some, kind of misunderstandings between them and their workers, and it goes viral. But that's just a small percentage.
Mm.
There is
Wow.
a huge percentage that is actually also doing good,
Doing good.
that
Yes,
is
yes, yes.
providing job opportunities to the locals, that is
Mm-hmm.
also fostering, development, capacity building locally, right?
Mm.
Um, I, I've always been reading even about several sectors. Take a look at even television industry.
True.
Star Times went to Africa in 2000. At that time, there was no one interested in, venturing into such kind of industries where
No.
you just knew that you were serving only a few rich people who could afford to watch
Oh,
the TV. They
yes,
went there, 2000, up until now is there. It is covering more than 30 countries.
it's true.
Started in Eastern Africa. They are developing. They started from us, they developed in Africa, and they are, if you even watch the content they provide, very nice and
Very
everything.
exactly. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, you have several companies that are like that. Transition is a good example. ITEL. You talk about ITEL, is just an African brand. You would think this is an African brand. No, it's a Chinese brand that was built in Africa, right?
True.
So there are many positive things that we can share about China and African relations.
Mm,
Same thing that you should view Africans in China. If someone did bad in China, an African did bad in China, that does not represent every African here,
no.
right? So we cannot judge from just a few cases that we are seeing. Those can just give us lessons on what needs to be improved.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are many things that can be done. For instance,
Yeah.
trying to provide some information about what to really take note of when
Take
going
note
to
of,
Africa
yes.
for those Chinese businesses, right? Some of them, they're just, some Lauban. We just call them some Lauban
Yeah,
from,
some
for example,
lawban.
Yiwu, where maybe they don't have that big international exposure. So when they go
Exposure,
out there,
yes.
many challenges will be met.
True,
So
true.
we have to find ways to solve that. The same way we also have our African brothers and sisters when they come here,
Yeah.
because they don't know a lot of things, you end up venturing into,
Venture into
you
some
know,
other things, yes.
some other things that will also portray a bad Africa.
But this Chinese,
So,
okay, okay, go ahead. I wanted to ask,
so
I want to
yeah.
ask this question. It's pertaining to what you're talking about.
Mhm.
You have been involved mainly in the youth activities, right?
Yes.
From your observation and experience, what is the difference between Chinese youth and African youth?
Oh, yeah, we have several differences. We have several differences. I think you could understand it from our cultures themselves.
Mm,
African youths, this is a diversified group coming from several countries with several national realities, with several legacies and
mm.
backgrounds. So the way we do our things are actually not so uniform. The way Southern African youth would do some other
Okay,
things here, and
you speak on behalf of Southern Africans.
okay. I think one thing I would actually want to just combine it, everything,
Okay.
Southern, Western, and all that. So what I see about Western Africans, I admire them very well. They are quite united. Meet Ghanaian community, community.
Yes.
They are a close knit. They are close knit.
Yes.
We Southern African brothers and sisters, we rarely have this kind of a united, community.
True.
So because of that, we tend to have challenges of, information gaps. We are missing a lot of things,
Wow.
right? We are the connectedness. It's something that we should work on. We can also
True.
learn this from even Nigerians. They are very connected.
They are
They are very
connected. True.
connected. They're very connected. But us, the Southern African side, Zimbabweans,
One man for himself.
Zambia, is one man for himself. I think this this actually this actually also has, if I could say, it has something to do with our backgrounds and I think our legacies, historical legacies,
Mm,
because what I see from Western Africans,
yeah.
that's the typical African Ubuntu culture, right?
Ubuntu, exactly.
Right? Because Ubuntu culture, what it does is that it's a unity. it's a cohesive society where you have everything integrated to each other.
Yeah.
And this is something that is almost similar with the Chinese youth, right? They are
True.
so united, and that goes also well with their culture. But I think for Southern Africa, for us, we also have received so
Yeah.
much of the Western modernization and civilization, which also affects how we see things,
Mm.
how we react to things. So whenever opportunities come, sometimes you would see a brother just grab it by your own. But I
Yeah.
think we have a long way to go. We should learn from each other and see how well we can forge ahead. Yeah.
But among all those African countries who are in China, among the African countries in China,
Mhm. Mhm.
what distinguishes a Zimbabwean from others?
This is very challenging because for me, I have always said this. If I'm in China here, I'm actually happy to be identified as an African.
Mhm.
Why? Because that tells you how united Africa is.
True.
It's not like just the way we understand it that if you tell me that, hey, Eric, you are an African, then that means that you don't understand that there is Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
It's not an issue of boundaries. It's an
No.
issue about our unity. It's an issue about our Ubuntu culture that I was talking about. So
Mm.
when we are here, right, I think we are, almost similar in terms of how we identify
Yeah.
ourselves. So we should actually learn to become this kind of a close knit. I think there is a lot that is going on. We have a lot of local, small associations that are being formed,
Yeah.
and communities that are being formed. I'm happy. These are very good developments. You have ADICNet, it's African Diaspora Network in China.
Mm.
You have also, we personally have also created Africa China Young Leaders. This is Africa China Leaders, ACL.
Mhm.
All of these platforms which are designed to bring all of these, Africans into one,
Mm.
close knit, into a single platform. So, which
But
is something that is good.
I have noticed in China that there is among foreigners there is a lot of something what nationality. I've seen it to be something that really separates people, that breaks apart people, because the moment people, it's like we're so obsessed with nationality. Even people you meet for the first time, the first thing they ask you, what's your nationality?
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's why I was saying that I'm actually happy to be identified as an African. And
Mhm.
that actually doesn't mean that we are saying boundaries should not be respected. Boundaries are
Yes,
there. And of course, when we are telling someone that, where are you from? You cannot say, I'm from Africa, I'm from
yes,
Zimbabwe.
I exactly.
But if someone said, you are an African, fine. But I
Yes,
can tell you
fine.
that I'm from Zimbabwe. And when I'm actually, I usually like to do these kind of salons where you'll be sharing about Africa.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
make it clear how many countries in Africa, and even with some videos showing you beautiful cities in Africa and all that in different countries.
Mm.
That's fine. But if it on our own, ourselves, there is no need to say, you are a Zimbabwean, you are a South African,
Mhm.
I'm a what, right? This is an idea that we should showcase when we are interacting with the Chinese, to let them know that I'm from Zimbabwe. But on our own, we should
Mhm.
identify ourselves as a single unity. That's what
True.
I personally think. Because
Mm.
as you say that, saying that, this obsession about nationality, it
Yeah.
divides us. It divides
True.
us, divides us into these small, small,
Mm.
small, small, communities
Community. So, but
where
what about
we
like,
then face the challenges that I was telling you, the
yes,
challenges of
yes,
information gaps and all that. Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to ask, when it comes to opportunities available for African youth in China, like you are on the ground, what are some of the opportunities that are available for African youth? Because there are some people who are not even in China, some youth, maybe they are planning, or maybe they don't even know what opportunities are there for them in China,
For
business
the
wise,
youth,
education, anything.
yeah, there are several opportunities here in China. Remember, China is actually a fast developing economy.
Mm.
So in that kind of an economy, you get a lot of opportunities. The same back home, we also have a lot of opportunities. But what you get here, education-wise, for those who are into majors like medicine, you
Yeah.
can come here and get yourself established because you have that opportunity to go into to do your practicals. Those who are into tech, engineering, you have the opportunities to
Mm.
actually, you know, uh, try yourself well. So let's go into entrepreneurship. It's something that is very important
Yeah.
for the youths and for African continent at large. Because as you know, as we're speaking right now, that Africa hosts the largest group of entrepreneurs in the whole world. So it means that we are into innovation and entrepreneurship. Like,
Yeah.
see, we mean it, serious business.
True.
So for those who want to try it, China can also be a very good opportunity for you.
Mm.
Why? You have very good startup environment. You have also these kind of you know attractive policies,
Yeah.
so you can kickstart your ideas here. We have several brothers who are doing well. I even have a friend from Rwanda who is based in Shaoxing. It's a city which is near to Hangzhou. It's here in
Yeah.
Zhejiang province. Pacific. He launched Nesabai platform for e-commerce. He's doing well.
True.
Also introducing African products to the local market,
True.
right? You have several African brothers and
Mm.
sisters who are doing well in innovation. So I think that those who want to start up their businesses, especially African youths who are in China, you can actually kickstart your ideas.
Mm.
And the more that, you know, those that I actually appreciate more is with the idea of saying after you establish your idea, later on you should take it back home.
Mm. True.
Yeah, we can kickstart our ideas, but in the
But take
future,
them
let's
home.
try to work on taking them back home because that's where they are needed much. That's where
Exactly.
they are needed much. That's where they are needed much. You would find out that some of the things that we might start locally, you might not actually have that, the strength to
Yeah.
compete with these fully established
It's
companies here.
true.
But you can always take those ideas to your home country. But
Mm.
what you can get here, it's a very good platform for starting up your ideas.
Mm.
You actually have many cities that has attractive policies for business startups. Here
Wow.
in Hangzhou, if you are into technology, you can try something.
Yeah.
And for those university students, my encouragement is to say, participate even in those entrepreneurship
Programs.
competitions. Yeah, programs and competitions. There is
Mm.
Internet Plus. There is another one, Bay. All of these competitions, what they do is that sometimes you might not even win an award,
Yeah, but
but the process itself, it helps you to think
to think
critically and to
exactly.
come out with something. So you
Wow.
would find out that most of these guys who I was talking about, they've established their companies here. Go and ask them. They have this background. Pacific himself once participated in Internet Plus. He got a gold medal. This is the project that he's working on. I
Wow.
know a lot of guys. I have Brett. Brett is
Mm.
back in South Africa. Dr. Brett, he's doing good there. You took part in several entrepreneurship competitions in
Competitions,
China,
yes.
got several gold medals. you can also get funding from that. You also get
Mm-hmm.
investors from that
It's
because
true.
that's where how you can pitch your
Your
ideas, right?
ideas, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
there are a lot of opportunities that I actually see that we should not just sit back and say, life is difficult out there.
so
What are
so
you
draw
doing about it? So,
so drawing lessons because I had set up this live stream to be 1 hour. I think we only have about 8 minutes or so left. Drawing lessons from China, in terms of poverty alleviation, in terms of youth empowerment, and many other things, for the upliftment of the community. What are some of the lessons that you have picked and you wish, they can be applied back home, or you yourself are going to take and apply back home to help the empowerment of youth, and poverty alleviation, and just, general upkeep of our communities?
right. You just touched on a very important issue, poverty alleviation. The experiences that I personally got here, I think they are rich experiences. I went to Shanxi province, which is the north western part of Africa, of China, sorry. My head is full of Africa. I went to Ningxia, which is an autonomous region in China. All of these places, they are, you know, perfect examples of how you can develop from, you know, totally poverty stricken region to become something.
Mm.
So these were areas which actually initially had absolute poverty, which was eradicated in 2020. So what happened there? We actually, we were a group of Africans. We went into these tours, uh, working on this field work to actually understand what was happening there.
Mm.
It was a combination of the efforts by the locals themselves and the government. So what did the locals do? They didn't wait for the government to come and, provide for them. They worked with what they had, their own resources, to see how they can, this is, uh, you know, working from what they actually have personally. So
Yes.
in Chinese, we call it chifaneli, which is you are being motivated from the internal part of your own
Mm.
to do something. So there are some companies that were established in rural areas, right? We saw in Shanxi province, in a particular county,
Yeah.
the 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 guy there, he established it's a sort of a processing plant for vinegar, and they're buying the produce from what? From the rural farmers.
Wow.
So you see, they are establishing their own supply chain there, where
Yes.
you get the products from the farmers, you process them, you get the vinegar. You can also go back to the local, the local people, or you can even sell it all over China. So in the process, we identify that same problems that we are facing back home right now,
Yes.
China is also gone through them. You have the issues of brain drain. All
Mm-hmm.
those areas, youth, they ran away.
Yeah.
How? They went to study. Because you cannot stay. You want to study. You are looking for universities, good universities.
Yes.
You gotta go to other developed
Others.
areas. You gotta go
Mm-hmm.
to Beijing, go to Shanghai. Look for those opportunities. But then what is happening? All these big companies, they are also trying to set up their stations there in those areas.
Yes.
You might be surprised that sometimes when you call, even why your call is being received in Shanxi there. We
Mm-hmm.
saw a call center where all the youths, these talents that are saying brain drain, they were rushing out of the province, rushing out of that
Wow.
county that we were in. They were actually, attracted back. How?
Attracted back, yes.
That call center, we visited it. Everyone who was there, just young people working on that.
Mm.
So I just think that this poverty alleviation, the journey that was taken by China, it can be a good reference for many African
Many
countries
African countries, yes.
on how we can actually achieve this kind of inclusive development. That whilst
Mm.
we are, because right now, a lot is happening in Africa. A lot is happening in several African countries. We are
Oh,
chasing digital transformation, quick development. Look at how Rwanda has been developing over the past years.
yes,
Look at
yes,
how
yes.
Mauritius has been developing. All this, if you check the recent reports on which countries are developing so quick. So, what can we do to actually ensure a balance that is, because if you go in and check into those countries, normally when you say they're developing, it's the municipal areas that are developing, right? The
Yeah.
cities. But what is happening in rural areas? How can we ensure inclusive development, right? Industries. Let's set up industries even in rural areas and see what can we do as the youths. There are many, men, I see many, 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 many opportunities back
Mm-hmm.
home. You know, that's something that we can do. And
Mm.
we can see how we can, work within the frameworks, the blueprints that are set by our own local governments. And, but we should not just sit within our comfort zone or
Mm.
waiting for the manna to come down
Come
from
from
heaven. It's not
exactly.
going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Mm.
So there are several lessons. There are several
Mm.
lessons.
I think
I
for
think
that one, I think we will have to have a
poverty
space
alleviation.
for that.
Yeah, yeah, poverty alleviation can actually be a complete discussion because there's a
Because I
lot
think
of content to
it's
share.
too broad, it's broad. So I think
Well,
we can have it on its own. And unfortunately, because I had what do you call it, programmed our thing to be like an hour thing, okay? Because I didn't want to keep you long. I know you're studying and everything. So as we just close in some few seconds that are left, you just say some motivational things, whatever you want to say in Chinese.
in Chinese, will they understand that?
They will, trust you me. It's their homework.
Okay. All right. They will have to do that. Yeah,
It's
because I
their
think
homework.
actually, this is cultural exchanges, right? 说也就是说，我觉得我们这个青年也是非洲的未来，所以呢，我们不管是在哪个地方来到中国留学，去其他的国家，到澳大利亚、美国啊等等。后面呢，我们还是得回去自己的国家，回去这个非洲大陆，到津巴布韦、到尼日利亚，发展，这是最终的目标。我们的目标应该不是到国外留学，到国外创业，到国外工作就没有了。最终的目标应该是再回来自己的祖国，建设自己的祖国，在那发展。对，这是我今天的分
Wow,
享。
this homework is too much.
You asked me to do that.
No, this homework is
Okay,
too
I will
much.
translate. Let me translate. So what I was just saying is that, yeah, I was saying that, for us as the African youths who are here in China or other parts of the world, be it in Australia, be it in,
Mm,
America, the USA, or anywhere, we should understand that, the main goal is not just to come out here to learn or to come out here to start businesses, to come out
mm.
here to work. But the main goal is to say, after gathering all these experiences, we should go back
Go back
home
home,
and develop
apply.
our continent,
Mm,
apply what we learned out here, the experiences that we gathered, put them on the
mm.
ground, because
Wow.
we are the Africa that we want. We are the Africa that we're gonna have tomorrow. So We are the ones who have to build it. No one is going to come and build it for us. Yeah, so the main goal should be going back home to establish ourselves there. That is actually what I said in Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, okay. At least it's understood. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I really don't want to keep you long. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm just hoping that very soon we're going to see your book is going to be out, because obviously this experience cannot just stay in your own head. Like, it will be very unfair and disservice to the people, like, for real. Our experience, we are just waiting to have it in some book somewhere. I don't know, maybe it's going to be academic book or whatever. Serious.
That's a big responsibility. Thank you
Yes,
so
because
much.
a lot of you guys, the thing is, you have a lot, you have experienced a lot, you have had a lot of things, but you keep them to yourselves. So if these things are put down into books, into textbooks, at least you're passing on the knowledge. Not everyone is going to be volunteering in Chinese streets or subway. Not everyone is going to be eating with Chinese or going anywhere. But because you have been there, is actually first-hand information here. So it's not like it's hearsay or whatever. You are saying what you have done and seen and experienced. So I think that is even more authentic than someone who writes a book from just Googling, it's different.
Definitely.
Yes. So
Thank you
anyway,
so
thank you
much.
so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
And I wish you the best in your work, in your studies, and every endeavor, in your competition that you're going to be facing just now. Good luck.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
an
you.
interesting conversation. Looking forward to have more of these in the future.
It's
I just like,
very interesting, especially now I am
discussion.
embarking in I have embarked on a journey of talking to youth in the diaspora. So far I've got a lineup of youth from different countries that want to talk to me or studying their challenges, the growth and everything. So people have got a lot of things to share, you know so they need to share. Let us know. And for me, it's more about inspiring the next person. There's a young boy sitting on the computer watching videos and movies on YouTube and everything. They don't have no idea of what if I do this. So if they see inspirational things coming out from a young person just like them, you feel challenged with, but how did you even do it? How? So that challenge is what will drive many. So we need a lot of role models to come out and speak on how they have succeeded. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Ziggy. I
much
think
appreciated.
we will. I will actually personally, do what I can do, and for you, I think you're doing a very great job of providing with us this kind of a
I'm also
platform.
playing my part. You play your part. Everybody plays their part.
This is actually what we need. This is actually what we need. Yeah.
True. True that. True. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ziggy.
Thank you for your time. Wish you the best in your studies.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.